This is a good warning. I didn't know what to say. Anyways, welcome back, guys. We are playing a game called... I thought I would change screens by now. We're playing a game called It Paints Me. It's a short indie horror art style game about love and pain and some other stuff, and I thought I would play it. I saw it, it looked good, the reviews were good, so I thought I would give it a try. Anyways, with that, why don't we just get right in? Oh wow. Every night, I find myself alone in the studio, curtains drawn tight, my neat row of paints, palette, and brushes in the same place on the drawer by the easel. The canvas upon it sits as always unfinished, Maria's half-painted face frozen in silent song. It's laid out, as it always is when I awaken here. Maria is nowhere to be found. She must still be at the theater, even when the curtains fall and stage lights dim. The night is forever young to its star soprano. Sopranos. I would always wait outside her dressing room, roses in hand, scores of her bright-eyed admirers spilling through the halls, though she alone was mine, and I was hers. It's cold, bitterly cold tonight, but still I draw the curtains and open the window wide. There's a stench in the room, deep, damp, and sickly sweet, that I can't ever seem to be rid of. What? Okay, whatever. Besides that, the fumes from the linseed oil make my head spin. Like every night, I measure out my paints, arrange the small dab of color on my palette, from the lightest to the darkest. Titanium white and cardamom yellow to corpse brown and lamp black. I wet my brush in oil and gently start mixing the pigments. It feels just a little bit like magic, watching them swirl and mix and form new colors from old. I paint her hair. I blend a dark, deep red on my palette as I envision her hair in my mind's eye. Maria rarely ever bound her locks in fashionable palettes and ringlets, not even on our wedding day. I remember how her glossy black waves almost shimmered beneath her veil. The color on my palette is as dull as mud. I sigh and blend it into the background instead. I apply my paint with a generous dab of oil, but it seems I didn't have to. The canvas is still wet from the last night and the night before. I must have painted and repainted the same background countless times. To say it's difficult to paint by lamplight, my muse nowhere in sight, is an understatement, of course, but lately these hours are the only time I find myself able to lift my brush. I stop every few strokes.
Spirits, it hurts.
Whoa. He speaks. I had joked that the pain that forced me away from the tailor shop meant I could finally return to my paintings, at the very least. I was never any good at humor. Maria had sensed my worries, consoled me sweetly in her voice that could charm stone to life.
Oh, Sam, don't worry. I have roles lined up for months. Go ahead and paint. We can still live comfortably.
It hurts. A small part of it did, beyond the physical, beyond the ailments, to seek her permission. To be unable to care for my darling the way I had when we were young, brimming with talent, but cursingly unknown. Well, she had been. I was, still am, nothing. And perhaps, finally, it would now be my turn to bring my vision to the world. If only it didn't hurt so damn much. Time passes and still don't manage more than a few strokes. A small patch of black over the already wet canvas. And perhaps time hasn't passed at all. The broken clock on the wall would suggest as much. Perhaps the seconds have lain still, and the world outside unchanged, and I, the only thing that moves. Have I moved? Is repeating the same brushstrokes like a clockwork doll movement? I shiver and sigh. Perhaps sleep would be a better endeavor. Perhaps the next night will meet more success. I stand, setting aside my paint and palette, and slowly move to shut the window. I stop. There, outside in the front garden, barely lit by streetlights, stands a figure that could only be Marie. She bids goodbye to another figure, tall and broad shoulders, and then she laughs a beautiful laugh, a heartfelt laugh, and embraces him before he makes his reluctant exit on a carriage stopped by the gate. For a moment, I didn't know what to think. A friend, a co-star, perhaps the Admiral tenor she mentions every now and then. I didn't see his face, but Maria's social circle has always eclipsed my own. It must be. Why would he come to our house? Why would she laugh that way? In the garden, in the midst of walking to the front door, humming to herself, Maria suddenly looks up. For a moment, her eyes go wide, and she blinks as if shaking herself from a daze. I instantly step back from the window. Perhaps it's guilt that makes me do so. Maria is finally home, and oh, I've missed her so. How could the thing I think upon seeing my darling be the worst thoughts my mind could conjure? For the first time in many, many nights, I feel just well enough to leave the studio. I'll prepare Maria a pot of her favorite chamomile tea. I'll listen as she tells me of the nights, the theater, the thousand small anecdotes she'll never run out of, and perhaps, just maybe, ask her again to sit for a portrait for me, like she used to. The house feels larger than it used to. Perhaps I was shut in the studio too long. Still, how could I quickly become a stranger to my own home? The memories are fuzzy, the years blur together like a wash of oil colors. My mother and I, carrying our sparse luggage, stepped inside for the first time. My stepfather laughing, his elbows on the breakfast table, chattering over something he read in the paper. And then silent hallways and empty rooms. And then myself welcoming my new bride to these solitary halls, hanging on our newly taken portraits above the mantel. The walls are barren now. I feel the walls in the dark, leaving... Oops, I accidentally clicked. I don't know what. The paintings I frame, the seaside landscape I've painted on our honeymoon, the watercolor sketches of Marie that couldn't hope to conjure the sheen of her hair, and still life of candles and flowers that had wilted before because I took so long to finish. Even the painting of the roses in a vase, the first gift I ever given her.
I wanted to bring you some flowers, but I was afraid they would wilt before I saw you next.
You painted them. Oh, they're beautiful, Sam.
The naked walls stare blankly at me. Confused, but with nowhere else to go, I continue through the house. As I walk past, I pass the furniture my stepfather left me, the shelves and tables that always seemed so large and grand as a boy, now missing or muddled in thick white linen. They remind me of a corpse on a hospital table lying dead, still covered in sheets. Marie. I try to call out, but something blocks my throat. I cough long and drawn and wet, and then once more to attempt... Do I say her name? Marie. It slicks off my tongue like a serpent uncoiling. I've always loved her name, so tender and sweet, fresh of harsh syllables. Marie. It was a name like an impressionist's fleur, painted in soft strokes with a fine oil brush. It was the greatest joy in the world to join my name to hers. Silence fills the halls, a long, drawn-out silence, a held breath. Finally, my darling answers.
Sam. Is this a dream?
I cough again, and a long, wet trail drips from my lips.
Is it a...
I don't know. It feels like a nightmare. An awful, wretched nightmare.
I limp towards the sound of her voice, so musical, so lovely, even on the brink of tears. Don't cry, darling, I want to say, but thick, syrupy liquid fills my throat. No matter what troubles you, I am here. She stands at the edge of the staircase, shaking a candle stick in hand. The steps are sticky and wet. I inch carefully, practically at a crawl, not to slip. My darling lifts the candle as I approach. In the dark of the house, it flickers. Flame almost blinds me. Whoa. Very bright. I don't see the impression on her face as she screams.
Marie? Where are you, my darling?
Every word feels like a dagger puncturing my throat. I limp down each hallway, leaving a trail of steps that feel damp and heavy, slick and wet. I try the door to our bedroom. No, Marie's room. I had started sleeping in the spare one when my cough fits would wake her in the night. It was cold, so cold alone, but my darling needed her rest. The knob is slick and hard to twist. My hands slip on the brass. Finally, I manage to push the door open. Though it's completely dark when I peer inside, I know it is empty. No warmth, no flesh, no sound of sweet breath within. I continue down the hall. I trudge, my steps heavy and wet, trying not to slip over the thick, slick surface.
Marie!
Man dead.
What's wrong, darling? Please, come out. I don't understand.
The dining room is empty, truly empty. The shelves where the china and silverware were once neatly stacked now gape hollow. The walnut table is covered in a thick white sheet. The matching set of chairs removed. Wow. I rest against the blanketed table, my hands leaving a ruddery smear against the sheet. It must be more paint, though it's hard to make out in the dark. I needed spectacles for some time, but Marie had never liked the bookish type. I continued on through the familiar yet unfamiliar house, my steps strained and slow, my breath short, sticky, wet.
Marie! Where are you? Oh, Marie! It hurts! Won't you come to me?
I hear the front door slam shut. It must be freezing cold outside. Why has she gone to the garden? I tread to the sound with new urgency, uncaring of the sticky, wet floors and forgetting for just a moment the pain that snaps and burns through my flesh. I reach for the oily, damp knob. We're gonna
Don't,
save.
Sam, please.
Her voice rings from behind the door.
I don't understand, darling. Have I done something to upset you?
Her sobs echoed loudly. I never thought an ugly sound could come from my darling's lip, but her words.
I love you, Sam. I always will. But I can't bear to see you like this. Please, I beg of you, return to where you came. You can't be here. I've moved on now.
What? Return where? Dearest, you aren't making any sense. Moved on. I'm your husband, Marie. What on earth is there to move on from?
Please remember, Sam. You were ill. You were ill for a long, long time. And you never recovered.
I know I'm unwell, Marie. But you said we would still... Are you leaving me? Because I can't care for you anymore? Is that it?
You left me. You're dead, Sam. You've been dead for more than a year.
Knew it.
If this is a joke, darling, it's a cruel one. Do you want me dead?
I'm not finishing that. Sorry. My darling does nothing but sob behind the door. How quickly I regret my words. Oh, if only I could see her face, look in her eyes, reassure her, and see that she loves me still. I twist the knob with slick, oily hands.
No! Don't come out! Please!
I'm gonna let her go. I let go of the door, my hands slicking off its oily surface.
Forgive me, Marie. I can see that you don't want to speak to me right now. But whenever you do, whatever this is about, I'll be waiting in the studio.
I leave the door. I leave my darling alone, sobbing in the garden. It's dark, so very dark, but dawn will soon paint the dim black sky. I retrace my slick, wet footsteps through the halls up the staircase, one trudging, damp step at a time.
Spirits, it hurts.
It burns, and I feel no breath in my lungs. My chest could be a hollow cavity, slippery and wet, spilling with hot, sickly fluid.
It hurts. Oh, it hurts.
I stagger into a tall, sheet-covered object, the linen sliding off with the grasp of my clammy, slick fingers. It's Maria's floor-length mirror.
No. Oh, no. No, 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 no!
Oh. Whoa. Save. Here we are. Okay, return. I'm in the studio, a dark, dim studio, as empty as it is every night. The curtains are shut, the lamps are unlit. My palette is a mess of murky colors, rusty red, corpse browns, and a musky, sickly sweet, rotting stench fills the room. I don't know why the smell of linseed oil ever bothered me. After all, I no longer breathe. The handle of the door turns behind me. Slowly it creeps open, a figure steps inside. It's me. He limps more than he steps into the crooked motions against the floor, dragging his body along like a wet, wide brush, as slathers of red pools at his feet. I watch him pull himself before the canvas.
Samuel.
He speaks in my mother's voice, a tone that went swell with warmth and derision, command, and dependency, pride, and disappointment in a moment's notice.
Please, give up your suffering. Give up this. Come back to the earth with me.
My hands are too slick to hold my brush. I stab it into my flesh and fix it between my bones, and then dip the bristle into his blood. Wow. Okay.
Sammy.
Icon of El Gessa. I don't know if I said that right. He speaks in my stepfather's voice, but without laughter or joy. In the same cadence, I imagine him taking his last breath, a crimson stain staining his uniform, the dog tags cold around his neck.
Don't suffer anymore, Sam. You are nothing already. Forget your pain. Return to the void with us.
My brush is drying. I plunge it into his chest, wet it with his oily breath.
Sam?
Icon of agony. He speaks with my voice, hoarse and rasped and tired, and so very, very tired.
This won't make you worthy of love. Not the world's, not Marie's, not your friends or peers or critics. Come back to our grave. End our suffering. You know I don't do this for love.
I clean my brush with the paint thinner, knocking over the jar as it spills across the drawer and onto the wet, soaking floor. I dry the bristles on my warm, rotting shirt, then soak it in thick, white mucus of his tears. My words are only partially true, just as his words are not fully wrong. Neither my rotting corpse nor the memory of what once was Sam will gain a thing from this toil. I paint the hours away, or perhaps take no time at all. The clock on the wall never turns its hands, suggests that the world lies still. The seconds never pass, and I am the only thing that moves within it. It hurts. Oh, it hurts. Heavy, syrupy tears flood my vision, fill my throat, my chest, choking me. Every movement of my hands leaves cracks in what left of my brittle bones. He stares at me all the while, silent still like a mirror. If I loved him, I would stop. I would crawl to my grave like he wishes. But I love this more than I love myself. I birth him from within me as I create, so too I am born.
And he and I
Are beautiful. Self-portrait. Complete yourself. Ending 2. Self-portrait. Ah. Okay. Music, art, story, programming, and sound design by Edias. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Sorry if I'm not. Okie dokie. That's the end of that. So that was the... It's actually pretty cute for a very... It's sad. It's definitely sad. It's a lot of reading. But it's cute for a little short kind of horror indie thing. I like the art design. I like the way it looks. Like it's a sketch or a painting or something made with charcoal. Anyways, I'm gonna go back and choose the other choices and see what happens. I'll be right back. I'm not rereading anything, by the way. I just want to let you guys know that. I'm kind of just clicking through. Okay, so last time... Last time I did her hair. Let's do her face. Okay. The photographs. Let's do that. The walls are laid bare. The pictures that hung on the pale wallpaper are gone. Blurry gray photographs of my parents, myself as a boy, and Marie. Oh, so many pictures of Marie displayed in a filigree frame. Oh, that's cute. Even our wedding photograph, the two of us dressed in fine clothes. I showed myself smiling like fools even while our picture was taken. For how could we wear solemn faces on such a joyous day? 2 is gone. The pale wallpaper stands bare, stripped to its bone. Confused, but with nowhere else to go, I continued through the house. I forgot to click, but I forced the door
Not
open.
until you tell me what's going on. Are you leaving me? I need you! Marie, are you alright?
Stop it. I'll keep you alive. Every time, I'll keep you in my song. In my art.
Oops, didn't mean to click that.
It hurts. Your art, it was all your fame, your voice, your need.
Your wants, your desires.
You were a work of art, of course. But did you ever think about me? Did you ever think about poor Sam dying alone in a cold white room?
Damn.
Poor Sam, who couldn't even hold a brush in his hands at the end. Poor Sam, left to rot into nothing. A year was all it took for you to forget me.
Damn. I'm shaking her, leaving smears of dark, muddy paint over her pale shoulders. The next moment, she breaks from me, running blindly into the street. The carriage doesn't stop for her, of course it doesn't. My dearest is a wisp of dark, cool curls, a black dress, billowing in the night like a shape. She should be light as breath, soft as mist. And she died. You killed her. Good job. But the song that comes is the scream of her broken bones, her ripping flesh, and the breath that leaves her lungs.
Ha! But every sound my darling makes is beautiful.
I scoop her massive flesh and deep crimson hair in my arms. Her blood pools around me, syrupy and dark, a color so deep no artist pigment could hope to capture the pure scarlet and vermilion red, a dull stain in comparison. It is not Sam that I am staring back in the deep pool of our blood. Wow. My darling is a lovely creature, even broken. I gently carry her up the steps, one slick, damp, crooked step at a time, setting her mass of ginger bones and viscera and flesh on the velvet seat, my studio. The fabric soaks as deep, so very deep. It's dark, as it is every night. I leave the lamps unlit, the windows shut tight. How strange that the stench of lamp-seed oil ever bothered me. After all, I no longer breathe. My darling sits still, ever so still, not a breath escaping her broken flesh. What a lovely model. Oh, what a wonderful
All
thing.
the more beautiful now that it surely hurts to sing.
Icon of agony.
Oh, it is agony to hold a brush. It always does. But I can bear it. After all, who can truly create without pain?
Muse, finish your masterpiece. Okay, that's the ending one, Muse. I'm guessing there's a third ending. See if I can figure it out for you guys. Okay, I guess there's more. There's a thing that says investigate. It's been months since I last stepped foot here, but every floorboard, every turn of its halls are as familiar to me as when the sunlight once shone through the windows. Sam always opened the windows when he worked in his studio. No matter the weather, no matter how rainy or freezing cold, the same windows that now were open, gaping from the garden outside. Someone had been through this house. Everything of value I had taken with me months ago, of course, but though I could not bear to stay here any longer, I could bear it even less to let this place go. Sam, had grown up here. This place meant so much to him, and I had so many memories housed here deep within its walls. I didn't mean to spend less and less time within them as the years went on. I didn't mean to give Sam less and less, but I did. And then he was gone. My heels clack against the wooden floorboards as my footsteps echo in the dark. Now I'm guessing we're hurt right now. I stop at the doorway of the kitchen. The old rickety shelves gaped out, empty, while the walnut table silently stands beneath a muffled sheet. I have hiccups, holy shit. On Sundays, when he wasn't off to the tailor's at the crack of dawn, we would have breakfast together. I remember how he'd sit at the very table, combing through the newspaper, carefully clipping out any new photographs of me that appeared. A sound snaps me out of my memories. Muffled footsteps, not mine. A voice calling my name. My heart stops in my chest. I swear I can hear it. Him. We're gonna save real quick here. Yeah, I've been randomly saving. Not the academy student in a hand-me-down gown, green coat, full of life, nor the man who waited by my dressing room with roses, almost too shy to present them to me. And not the man in the paint-stained apron, hunched over a canvas, eyes locked in concentration. The owner of a voice cannot be a man, but it has his voice. Calling out to me. My mind is playing tricks on me. It can't be. Holding my candlestick tightly, I slowly approach the staircase.
Sam?
I call. Peering into the darkness above me, the outline of a figure stands, its movement slow and haggard.
Is this a dream?
The shape in the darkness coughs and coughs again. In wretched pain, I choke back my own sobs in my throat.
Is that a good dream, darling?
He finally says.
I don't know. It feels like a nightmare. An awful, wretched nightmare.
As the figure steps into view, I blink against the candlelight and finally look at him. My darling, oh my poor, poor precious Sam. No, what's left of him. Okay, we're gonna save here real quick. We're gonna scream. And then I'll go back and do the other one. Okay, cool. That's what happens with that. So if we do this one.
I love you, Sam.
I say through my tears, climbing the staircase, one shaking step at a time.
I always will.
My arms meet rotten fabric and broken flesh, and my lips meet bone and blood. Take me with you. I tried to speak, but gag.
Don't cry, darling. No matter what troubles you, I am here.
Damn. Singer found dead. Beloved soprano Maria Claremont's body found in former residence. Maria, acclaimed opera singer, Maria was found dead in her former residence on Vieux Regard yesterday evening after the former failed to show up at the theater at the last night. It's kind of hard to read, but it's pretty much just stating that they found her dead. Lapondini. The Muse of Tragedy. Ending 3. Okay. So that was it. 3 endings. Ah, he's back. So, first one, she dies. He's a little crazy. Second one, he lets her go. Third one, she wants to be with him again. So she gets... Anyways, that was pretty good. I like that. I enjoyed that. I kind of like how he disappears and then comes back right here. And we do get a vague idea of, you know, how he looked like when he wasn't, dead. But, anyways, I like that game. I'll have to see if they have more. Anyways. Thanks for joining. Bye.